श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादशङ्करं लोकशङ्करं शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः. So, as mentioned earlier, in this particular video, we are going to discuss the 8th mantra of the Isavasyopanishad, which belongs to the Shukla Yajurveda. And it's a very small Upanishad because it has only 20 mantras in it. And it starts with the mantra Om Ishavasyavidagum Sarvam Yat Kinchit Jagatyam Jagat Tena Tektena Bhunjitha Ma Gridha Kasya Svidhanam. That is why it has got the name Isavasyopanishad. We are not going to go into the intricacies of everything about this Upanishad. Our purpose is to see that in this Upanishad, how is Brahman defined? And in this Upanishad, the 8th mantra defines Brahman. I'll first read this particular verse. This verse indicates what the self that was spoken of in the previous verses really is in its own nature. That is the intrinsic nature of the self is Brahman, is what is going to be explained here. And how is it explained? We will see through Sankara Bhashya. First, I'll read the mantra in Sanskritam and then give the meaning of it. And then every word, what we call Anvaya, we'll break every word separately in Sanskrit and try to understand what it means. The mantra goes like this. Saparyagat shukramakayam abranam asnaviragum shuddhamapapaviddham kavirmanishi paribhuhu swayambhur yatha tatyato arthan vyadadachashatibhya samabhya. It means he is all pervasive, pure, bodiless, without wound, without sinews, taintless, untouched by sin, omniscient, ruler of mind, transcendent, and self-existent. He has duly allotted or the respective duties to the eternal years, that is to the eternal creators called by that name, that is Prajapati, the Manu for each Samvatsara, or we have the Manvantara, we have one Manu for each Manvantara, we have the creator Prajapati for each Manvantara, and we have Hiranyagarbha or Parabrahman for the whole Kalpa. Now each word, let us look at it. Sa, it means he, the aforesaid self. Sa, when we say, we refer to the self with capital S. Paryagat. Paryagat in Sanskrit, in English when we translate, it means it is all pervasive like space, Akasha. Paryagat. The word being derived from pari, on all sides it means. Pari, agat. Agat means wind. That is which has gone all over, spread over the whole place. He is Shukram. That means pure, bright. The word Shukram means pure, white. That is resplendent. Akayam. There's no body. Kayam means body. So akayam means bodiless. That is without a subtle body. Subtle body, consists of the 5 motor organs which are called the Karmendriya. Vak, Pani, Padam, Payu, Upastha. That is speech, the 2 hands, the 2 feet, and the 2 excretory and reproductive organs, which is called the motor organs or called the Karmendriya. Then we have the 5 Jnanendriya in the subtle body or the Sukshma Sharira, which are called the netra, the two eyes, not the two eyes of vision actually, the two ears which can hear, and the nostrils which can smell, the tongue which can taste, and the fifth one is the skin which can understand the touch. So Shabda Sparsha Rupa Rasa Gandha are the five Vishaya objects which are tasted, which are experienced by the five senses, which are called the Jnanendriyas. So 10 plus 5 more, which consists of the 5 pranas or the vital force, the mukhya prana, which is called, exhaling, inhaling, which is called apana prana, abana, vyana, which is spread over, vyana, which is, kumbhaka, you hold the breath. And when you hold, carry some weight, that is the vayu or the prana which works. So prana, abana, vyana, udana. This is the vayu or prana which takes us to sleep. And when the breath goes out of prana, goes out of this body with the subtle body, the sukshma charira, it is the udana vayu or the prana which takes us. So prana, abana, vyana, udana, samana. Samana distributes the food and everything in the body. So 5 pranas, 5 jnanendriyas, 5 karmendriyas, 5 motor organs, 5 sense organs, 5 vital forces, 15 plus 4 called the antakarana. That is the mind, manasa, buddhi, which is the intellect, mana, buddhi, chitta. Chitta means the storehouse of memory of this birth and previous births also. Mana, buddhi, chitta, ahankara, ego. So mind, intellect, memory, and ego, these form the antakarna, the inner being. So in all 15 plus 4, there are 19 things included in the Sukshma Sharira, or what we call the subtle body. So this word, where here, when it is said akayam, bodiless, according to Shankaracharya, it refers to the subtle body. Abrinam, without wound, woundless or scatheless. Asnaviram, that is without sinews, one in whom there is no sinew. By the two expressions, without wound, without sinews, Shankaracharya tells us, it refers to the gross body. There is no gross body in Brahman. There is no subtle body, was described by saying it, calling it akayam, without body, that means without subtle body. So there is no subtle body in Brahman. There is no gross body in Brahman, is explained by the two other words, asnaviram and without, that means abrinam is woundless, asnaviram is without sinews, or some people may say muscles or whatever. It refers to the gross body. So in Brahman, the gross body is negated. Then Shuddham, taintless, pure, devoid of the dirt of ignorance. So when we say avidya malarahita, that means there is no ignorance about the nature of itself. So Brahman is knowledge. There is no ignorance in Brahman. Apapa vidham, untouched by the sin of, in the form of merit or demerit, both. That is why Sri Ramakrishna always says, for Brahman, there is nothing which is good or bad. It is beyond both. So it is apapa vidam, beyond the sin, untouched by the sins. The expression beginning with shukram are to be converted into masculine form, because the introduction is made with saha pratyagat and conclusion with kavi manishi. Therefore, these are all masculine. Therefore, this should, though it is looks like feminine in Sanskrit, it has to be understood in masculine form. Kavihi, omniscient, means the seer of Kranta. Who is a Krant? That is one who can see the past, present, future. He is called Kavihi, or omniscient. It's called Sarvagnya, and knows everything. means the seer of the past, seer of all, as the Vedic texts say. There is no other seer but this. The Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, Brahman alone is the seer. There's nothing, of course, nothing to see, but it is one who knows everything. Manishi, it refers to the ruler of the mind. That means Brahman is beyond the mind. Brahman is beyond the subtle body. Brahman is beyond the gross body. Brahman is absolutely pure, beyond sin or good or bad. And Brahman is Manishi, ruler of the mind. That means beyond the mind. Paribhuhu is one who exists above all, transcending everything. Swayambhuhu means he who exists by himself. He doesn't need another thing to support him to exist independently. He, the all, becomes Bhavati by himself, Swayam, that means Swayambhu. All that he with capital H transcends. And he with capital H is also the transcendental one. In this sense, he is Swayambhu, self-existent. He, the ever-free, all-powerful Lord, because of his omniscience, Vedadhat has allotted or distributed in proper way the activities or action what each one has to do. All the devatas are controlled, given, distributed some activity. Agni devata is to burn, the wind god or Vayu devata has to move everything, and so on. So he's a lord of all these, and he's the one who allots these duties to them. They are all under his control, all these devatas. And Vedadhat Arthan, that is, their duties are allotted to him. Yatha Tatya, duly. Not only that these duties are allotted to him, allotted to each of the devatas by him with capital H, that is Brahman, but also that it is the duly given, that is what should be given to each one is given there. And it should be in consonance with the actual result and endeavor. Shashvatibhya samabhya, to the eternal years or to the Prajapatis or creators called the years. That means Manvantara. For one Manvantara, there is a Prajapati. So here the first purport of the Vedas, namely devotedness to knowledge after renouncing all desires, has been stated by the opening verse. That is, cover all this by Brahman or Isavasyam idam sarvam. And where this devotedness to knowledge is impossible for the man of ignorance, it was told in the second that he should do duties or karma till he is able to realize. So, but here, this Brahman is Saparyagat Shukram Akayam Avrinam Asnaviragum Shuddham Apapavidham Kavir Manishi Paribhuhu. That is, he knows past, present, and is pervading everything. Swayambhu, he is independent of everything. Yatha Tatyato Arthan, that is, he is duly giving the duties to each of the devata. Vedadat chachit shashvatibhya samabhya. According to, he gives this power to the Prajapati to control the various devatas, and they all function. In another Upanishad, we will say Brahman is that who is above the devatas, because the devatas also do their duties as prescribed. Duly they do it because of the control of Brahman. Yet Brahman does nothing. But it is this very Brahman which is myself, the self with capital S, which Sri Ramakrishna calls the Paka Ami, which has nothing to do with the Sthula Sharira, gross body, Sukshma Sharira, that is the subtle body, nor the Karana Sharira, which gives you birth again and again because of your avidya. Avidya is called the Karana Sharira or causal body. So it is neither the gross body, nor the subtle body, nor the causal body. It is not having, it is beyond good and bad. Apapa Viddam Shuddham, it is pure, taintless. Apapa Viddam Shuddham Shukram, it had started with. All these are the nature of Brahman. So this is how Isavasya Upanishad defines Brahman. This is what we will see. Sri Ramakrishna also says Brahman is pure, untouched. Nobody can, when we say jhuta, nobody can touch it or taste it, because it has never been tasted by anybody, because it is not an object. That is what this we understand from this mantra of Ishavasya Upanishad, that he is all pervasive, pure, bodiless, without wound, without sinews, taintless, untouched by sin, omniscient, ruler of mind, transcendent, and self existent. He has duly allotted the respective duties to the eternal years here, Manvantara or the Prajapati, who is the God or the supreme God, who is the creator in each Manvantara. So that is how we understand what is Brahman from Ishavasya Upanishad. So today we conclude with this. Kayena vacha manasendriyaiva buddhyatmana va prakriti svabhavat karomi yadyat sakalam parasmai srinam. Whatever we have done, few minutes now, we all offer it to God. That means I am not the doer. Whatever is done here, please God, accept it as my offering to you. Hari Om. That's it.